Hello, my name is Sharon Stiles. I'm a hypnotist and I use other mind-based techniques as well. And today I'd like to help you understand more about how your mind processes pain, and also teach you some techniques to then help you to reduce the impact that pain has on your life. Now, I've seen the difference that these techniques have made to both my clients and to other people's clients. And I hope that they'll also add to your own expertise in a positive way. I'm going to be leaving this webinar up for about a week or so. So you can watch it again if you'd like a reminder of what we've covered, because I am going to go through in a bit of a whistle-stop tour because I'd like to just get as much in as I can. I'll also have a download available that also covers the techniques as well, so explains how you can use them yourself. And the reason I'm covering several techniques is because I found that sometimes people prefer one technique over another, or they find that one is more effective in a specific situation. So with this, try them all out, see which ones work best for you. And if you do have any questions, then you can always contact me as well. I'll have my details at the end. Now, one thing that I really must highlight right at the beginning is that you shouldn't use these techniques to reduce pain that is there to alert you to an injury or illness that needs your attention. So if you get a new type of pain or you get new symptoms, then do consult your doctor because you don't want to mask any warning signs of additional ill health. Pain is there for a reason, so listen to it and then take the appropriate action. These techniques should only be used if you are dealing with chronic pain that really isn't serving you any purpose. Now, on a simple level, I'm sure you've noticed that if you're in a positive mood, the sun's always shining and everything's going well, then your pain is actually less intrusive. But if you feel down and life's a bit of a struggle, then your pain seems much worse. And the fact is that the fact that it actually is worse then also means that you feel worse, and so you get into a vicious circle. Now, there's a real tendency to think about health as mental or physical, but they are intrinsically linked. And when we're dealing with pain, often the focus from both you and other people around you is on the physical aspect of it. But your mind plays a really important part too. So each one affects the other. So your state of mind has an effect on your physical state, and your physical state has an effect on your mental state. Now, I was talking about being positive, but being positive all the time can actually be really hard work. And often it becomes wishful thinking rather than a true positive statement. So I'm going to start off with something which I teach to virtually all my clients because it's a really adaptable technique and it involves reality thinking, not wishful thinking. So it takes out a lot of that effort of trying to be positive and put a bright spin on everything. And it's also something, actually, all of these techniques are something that you can do easily on your own. But this one doesn't rely on any technology or anyone else at all. And that's why it's really helpful. So it's called emotional freedom technique. But although it's called emotional freedom technique, it can also help with pain as well. And it uses acupressure and self-hypnosis. Now, acupressure uses similar principles to acupuncture. So it stimulates certain points in the body, which can help to reduce both unwanted emotions and pain. You're not going to be sticking needles in yourself like in acupuncture. You're going to be gently rubbing on the points that I show you. And you don't need to worry about remembering them all because, like I said, there's a reference sheet that you can download at the end of this webinar. So just start off by rubbing on your chest. And just rub on your chest and take 3 comfortable breaths. And just focus on that sensation. And now I'd like you to think about any discomfort that you feel at the moment. Where is it strongest? if you're thinking about where you feel it in your body, you might feel it all over your body, but if there's one part that's stronger than the other, then focus on that part. And if you had to put it on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is completely comfortable and 10 is the most uncomfortable, where would you put it right now? And just remember that number. Now, if you're not in any discomfort, physical discomfort at the moment, then you can still do this. Instead, you can think of any uncomfortable emotions that you might have. So maybe you're anxious or worried about something. Maybe you're not looking forward to something, or something that's niggling away at you. Now, be quite specific about the thing that is concerning you. As I said earlier with the pain, focus on a specific part of the pain. Where do you feel it in your body? But if it's an emotion, don't think, oh, my whole life's a complete mess. Just focus on one part of that mess. Because the more specific you are, then you can deal with that and then move on to something else later. But it just means that you get a better feeling for actually things happening. So I'd like you to follow me along with this. If you have a physical discomfort, then focus on that feeling, focus on where you feel it in your body. And if it's emotion, then just focus on that feeling of anxiety or worry or concern or whatever that feeling might be. And now go up to your eyebrows and just rub very gently on your eyebrows whilst you focus on the discomfort, whether that's emotional or physical. Then come to the side of your eye, just there on the edge, on the crease. And again, taking a comfortable breath and focus on the physical or the emotional discomfort. Underneath your eye, just rubbing gently, take a breath and focus on the physical or emotional sensation. One finger underneath your nose and one on your chin. Just rubbing gently, take a breath. Focus on the discomfort, the feeling, the sensation, whether it's emotional or physical. Now you come down to the collarbone, so you can possibly feel there's the collarbone there, which makes a little U shape at the bottom of your neck. So focus on that and just let them slide off to just below that bone. And again, just rubbing very gently on that point. And take a breath and focus on the physical or emotional discomfort or sensation. Now, if the feeling changes in any way, you can just go with whatever that changes into, because remember I said at the beginning that we're talking about reality here. So if your reality has changed and the emotion or the actual physical feeling has changed in some way, maybe it's moved in your body, maybe it's changed in how you actually interact with it, or it feels, or it kind of is affecting your body. If that's happened, just go with that new sensation. Now, nothing might have happened yet, so just remember it's always about your reality. So if something changes, follow that reality. If nothing has changed, stay with that reality. So let's go to underneath the arm. So underneath the arm is just on the side there of your body. So the easiest way to describe it is if you put your hand like that with the thumb on top, stick that up underneath your armpit, and then let your hand drop down. It will be about where the little finger falls. And then you can use all your fingers just to rub on that point. So take a comfortable breath and just go back to that sensation, whether it's physical or emotional. And then rub on the other side as well, just taking a comfortable breath. Now with this, I am holding my arm up in the air like that, just to show you where the point is. You don't have to do that, it might be too uncomfortable for you. So you can just keep your arm down like that and do it like that if you want to. I just want to make it obvious where the point is. Now we come to the fingers. So you take the thumb on one hand and just rub very gently either side of the base of the nail. You're not going to do the whole finger like that, it's just at the base of the nail there. And you just rub very gently and take a breath and focus on the sensation or the emotion you're feeling right now. Then go on to the index finger. Again, rubbing gently, take a breath and focus on the physical or emotional sensation that you have. Middle finger, take a breath and focusing on the sensation or emotion. The ring finger, rubbing gently, take a breath. And then the little finger, rubbing gently, take a breath. Then you go over to the other hand, exactly the same, starting at the thumb, just rubbing gently, take a breath. And then work your way along each finger, all the time, just focusing on the reality of how you feel right now. And then you finish off by going to the wrist and you just rub very gently on the wrist, just where a wristwatch would be. Just rub very gently. And as you do that, look up at the ceiling and think, how do I feel right now? How do I feel at this precise moment? And just check in with your body. Just check in with your emotions. And then you can stop rubbing. And that's one complete round of EFT, emotional freedom technique. So obviously I don't have any feedback from you, so I'm not quite sure how that's affected you at the moment. So I'm going to explain the three things that could have happened. The first thing is that nothing's changed. You feel exactly the same as you first did when you started. So the emotions still exactly the same, or the physical sensations exactly the same. That's okay, because we've only gone around this once. You know, the first time you do it, you're trying to concentrate on what's happening. You're trying to follow the instructions. You're not quite sure whether you've got it right or not. That's absolutely fine. And again, sometimes things take a little while to happen as well. You know, medication doesn't kick straight in. So sometimes it might do, sometimes it might not. So if you haven't felt any difference at all, that's okay. We're going to go round again in a minute and see whether we can get a change next time. The other option is that you actually feel worse than you did when you started. Now, that doesn't happen that often, but it can do. And that's often because you hadn't quite tuned in to how you were feeling right at the very beginning, or it's brought up additional problems. If it's an emotion, it maybe you've tagged on to other parts of that issue. Or it might be that because you are initially focusing on the sensation and you're not used to doing this, you're used to trying to ignore it, that again, it's just brought up stronger feelings. So again, don't panic. We're going to go round again, and hopefully this time we can bring it down. Because, you know, like I said, it's not normal for you to focus on something that is causing you a problem. Usually, if it's chronic pain, if it's a chronic, if it's an ongoing difficult situation, you try and kind of ignore it and think about other things. So you are doing something a little bit different here. And of course, the third possibility is that you have noticed a positive difference. So you might find that the pain has reduced, or maybe it's shifted slightly somewhere in your body, or it feels less intense, or it feels less bothersome. Or if it's an emotion that you've been focusing on, then maybe the emotion doesn't feel so bad. You don't feel so bothered by it. It's not so, it isn't affecting you in quite the same way. Now, don't go looking for that feeling in any way at all. Don't go looking for it thinking, oh, where is it again? Because you don't want it. And also, don't worry about it coming back in the future. It may well come back in the future. But if you've managed to let it disappear, if you've managed to reduce it now, then you can do the same thing in the future as well. So whichever of those was your options, let's go around again and see whether we can get a positive change on this particular go round. So we don't do the chest points again, we only do those once at the beginning. So we're going to go back up to the eyebrows again. So I'd like you to focus in now on wherever you feel that physical sensation or wherever you feel the emotion. I'd like you to focus in on that. Get it strong in your mind, get it strong in how you feel about it. And go back up to your eyebrows, just rubbing gently. Take a breath and focus on the physical feeling or the emotion. And the side of your eye, rubbing gently. Take a breath. Underneath your eye, rubbing gently. Take a breath. One finger underneath your nose and one on your chin. Rubbing gently. Take a breath. Down to the collarbone, just underneath those bumps there. Rubbing gently. Take a breath. Underneath your arm, just rubbing gently. Take a breath. And focus in on how you feel. And the other one as well. Focusing in on how you feel. And then coming down to the fingers. So starting at the thumb, take a breath. Focus on how you feel. And just work your way along each finger. Just tuning in to the physical sensation or the emotion. And just following it wherever it goes. And then we go over onto the other hand, again exactly the same, starting at the thumb. And taking a comfortable breath on each one. And then finishing off on the wrist. Just rubbing gently and look up at the ceiling. How do I feel right now? How do I feel right now? What does my body feel like? Or how do I feel about whatever I was thinking about? And just check in with that. And then you can stop rubbing. Now, I hope I hope this time you have, if you didn't before, I hope you've got a better result that time, that you have noticed a positive change. If you're unsure about any of this, there's a couple of things that people often ask me. One is about the breathing. You know, how quickly should I breathe? Just breathe at a comfortable speed. You know, you don't have to force yourself into deep breathing. If you can take a slightly deeper breath than normal, that would probably be good because it's oxygenating your body, helping your body to feel better. But don't force it. You know, don't try and push your breath longer than it needs to be. And you usually just take one complete breath on each point. Now, obviously, there you might have not been breathing at your normal rate because I'm doing it for a sort of wide range of people. But it's normally just one breath on each point. But if one point feels particularly comfortable and you want to stay on it a bit longer, do that. Also, if one point feels particularly uncomfortable, so if there's one point where you think, oh, that doesn't make me feel good, or that seems to make the pain feel worse, just stay on that point for a little bit longer as well, because it may just need a little bit of extra support. A bit like when you're massaging and you find a particular sort of knotty part, knotty muscle, you just spend a little bit extra time on that. So that's what you do here as well. The reason you look up at the end is because when you look up, you tend to feel more positive about things. You tend to feel better about things as well because you're opening up your chest, you're getting more oxygen into your lungs as well. And we just have a natural tendency that when our body is more upright, we tend to feel better about ourselves and about life as well. So it's just pushing those odds a little bit more in your favour. So always just look up, just to distance yourself from any uncomfortable, unwanted thoughts as well. You don't have to look right up, as I did there, but just lift your eyes above the horizontal so that you're either looking straight ahead or just slightly up. You don't want to sort of be sitting there looking like that, because that can really, really bring in negative thoughts. And the other thing is, how many times do you do it? We've just done it twice there because, like I said, this is a bit of a whistle stop tour. We've just done it twice, but you'd probably just carry on doing this. If you find that the sensation is still there, then you can just keep going round until it reduces to a more acceptable level. I mean, you can keep going and keep going so that you can get it down to zero and then put in positive sensations if you want. That's taking it on to the next step. I'm just really using it as a way of getting rid of the worst feelings. If you're interested in learning more about this technique, then you can always contact me and I can explain it in more detail. So this is just one part of it, but the part that you can easily do on your own. Now, if you find that you get tired doing this, particularly like I said earlier, if you're trying to do the arms like that, you can just do them without putting your arm up. But if you do find it physically tiring, or you are in bed at night and don't want to move, or maybe you're doing it in public and you don't really want to feel embarrassed about doing it, then you can use all of that technique, but you can imagine rubbing the point rather than actually physically doing it. Because what you think about affects you physically, like I said earlier. So if you imagine rubbing the point, it's almost as good as actually physically doing it. So that then means that you can do it absolutely anywhere. So that's the end of that technique. Like I said, give it a go, try it out, just do it as many times as you want. It can be really helpful for helping people sleep as well, or just generally calming and feeling calm if you're in an anxious environment as well. So put in some time to practice it, just so that you can learn how this works for you. Learn maybe how many times you need to do it, or the speed, or what's most effective for you to focus on. This is a new skill, so just like anything new, you do need to allow yourself that time to learn. Now, things might change quickly, like I said, or they might take a little while, but stick with it and see how you get on. So I'm going to move on now to hypnosis in a different way. That used very much a physical acupressure with your mind focusing on how you feel. And this is taking it to a slightly different method of using it. And at its very simplest level, hypnosis can help you by relaxing you. Because when your muscles tense, it makes pain worse. And so relaxing your muscles can help to reduce the pain by reducing the tension. And there was one hypnotist who worked a lot with pain who regularly told his patients, if you relax a little, then pain reduces a little. If you relax completely, then pain goes completely. Now, relax. Now, I know that might sound a bit glib, but isn't it wonderful if it's true or even partially true for you? Because using EFT and the rest of the hypnosis that I'm going to cover, I hope you're going to be able to achieve that type of relaxation that can lead to reduced pain. Now, when you're in hypnosis, your mind treats suggestions it's given as reality. So if you're given suggestions for feeling relaxed and your mind understands how to relax, then you will relax. And some people will respond to this type of suggestion faster than others. So if you think about watching a film or reading a book, do you tend to get caught up in the story? Do you forget to drink the cup of tea that you've been desperately waiting to cool down and then you've completely forgotten about it? If so, then you'll find that you relax very quickly under hypnosis. But if you don't worry. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to relax at all. It just means that you'll need a little bit of practice to remind your body how to respond. if you haven't relaxed for if you've found it difficult to relax for quite a long time, your body might have forgotten how to do it. And so some massage may help, might just help to re-educate your muscles into that way of relaxing. And I find that a lot of people actually aren't that good at relaxing to start off with, because we all lead busy lives. We've got constant mental stimulation from TV and computers and people around you. And particularly if you're in a lot of pain as well, you find again that you're very alert a lot of the time. You find it difficult to relax. But most people do relax at least once a day when they drift off to sleep. So that 20 minutes or so when you're going to sleep is called a hypnoidal state. And you're in a similar state to that when you're in hypnosis. So you're like partly aware, partly with your mind drifting, but also with your body starting to relax as well. It can be quite difficult to explain a hypnotic state to somebody, really, because people do vary in how they respond to it. But it's something that you will have experienced at some point, either a relaxation or a feeling of comfort. It's not something where you feel you're taken over by somebody or taken over by some force. You feel in control, and you feel comfortable as well. And again, your mind is more open to suggestions that you feel comfortable in actually accepting. So having someone like me take you into a relaxed state makes it easier because you don't have to think about it. You can simply follow my suggestions. So let me show you how hypnosis for relaxation works. Now, if you've ever done any meditation or visualization or maybe yoga and meditation, you'll probably find this familiar, maybe a sort of familiar state that you feel. But it also might be slightly different because, again, it's maybe using different suggestions or different techniques. So I'm going to take you into a nice, comfortable, relaxed state, and then we'll take that further on to the next step. Now, the thing to remember about relaxation is that you can't make yourself relax, because making yourself do something involves action and tension. So if you're trying to relax, it doesn't really work. So with relaxation, you allow your muscles to relax. You can't force them, you just let them. So don't try and force yourself to relax, just let yourself relax. Now, one technique, if you do find this difficult to relax, one thing that you can do is you can actually tense up your body completely so it makes it really tense and then untense it. And that helps your body to get used to that difference between tension and more relaxed. So if you find it easy to just completely relax, then just go along with my suggestions. But if you do find that you're struggling a little bit, then just tense up your muscles a little bit and then just let them relax. So I'd like you to make yourself comfortable. If you're sitting on a chair, then if you could put both feet flat on the floor. You don't want your legs crossed just because it can feel a little bit uncomfortable if you're sitting like that for a long time. And if you're sitting on a settee or a bed or something like that, again, just make sure you're comfortable. You don't want to lie down, because often if you lie down and listen to hypnosis, then it can actually lead you to fall asleep. If you want to fall asleep, that's fine, but you just miss out the rest of what I'm actually saying. Now, if we lose the connection at any time, then all you need to do is just open your eyes and press the right button to come back into this seminar. You just open your eyes, and if we don't manage to get back in at all, then you can just open your eyes and just take a couple of deep breaths, and then you should just find yourself becoming aware of the room and back into full consciousness again. So as you make yourself comfortable, then I'd like you to take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just close your eyes. Then open your eyes as you breathe in and close your eyes when you breathe out. And continue to do that, focusing on your breathing, feeling and hearing your breathing. And you can allow your breathing to become slower and deeper. You don't have to make it do anything. It just will automatically become slower and deeper, just like it does when you go to sleep at night. And as you continue to do that, you can focus on my voice. All the other sounds around you can just blend and fade and merge into a relaxing background that helps you focus on my voice. And the sound of my voice can just help you relax more and more. Maybe remembering how to relax or discovering how to relax. Just imagining that there's a lovely wave of relaxation just flowing over your body. It's like a soothing shower of relaxation that refreshes you and soothes you. And you can just feel your jaw start to relax. Let your neck and shoulders relax. And let that feeling move down into your arms and into your fingers. And then flow through your chest, down into your stomach, right down into your legs and into your feet. Just letting your body feel comfortable, relaxed and calm. It might feel heavy, it might feel light. You may feel a continuation of your muscles relaxing. And you can continue to let that happen, enjoying the physical sensation and letting your mind just feel calm and comfortable. And as you drift deeper and deeper, I'd like you to imagine that there's a door in front of you. Have a good look at the door. See the shape of it, see the size, and see the colour. And go and have a closer look. Run your hands over the surface and feel the texture underneath. And hear the sound as your hand rubs over it. Now you can open that door. It might have a handle. It might just open easily on its own. But as you open it, behind you can find a special place. One that's special to you, where you can be comfortable, calm, peaceful, and relaxed. It might be a bit misty or blurry to start off with, but the more you look, the more detail you see and the clearer things become. Just looking at all around you. And you might be able to hear sounds as well, sounds that make you smile when you hear them, listening to each one. But most importantly, in this place, you just feel completely relaxed. Your mind feels relaxed. Your body feels relaxed. Your whole soul feels relaxed. And you enjoy that sensation. You enjoy the feeling. You enjoy the calmness, the comfort. Just letting that soak into every muscle, every nerve, and every cell of your body. Soothing and relaxing, easing and calming. And just feel it flowing through you. Feel it circulate through your body. That calmness, that relaxation, that comfortable sensation. And enjoy that feeling. Let it become more and more comfortable. And anytime you want to feel comfortable, calm, peaceful, relaxed. Anytime you want your body, your muscles, your cells to feel soothed and calm, you can imagine going through that door and coming into this special place and feel that calmness. Feel that comfortable sensation just circulating through your body, soothing and easy. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And on the count of 1, your eyes will open and you can be alert and awake and refreshed, but retaining that lovely feeling. So 3, becoming more aware of what's around you, feeling comfortable as you take a deep, deep breath, cool, fresh air, refreshing your body and clearing your mind. 2, feeling those lovely, relaxing sensations in your body, coming back to the room. And 1, eyes open, refreshed and relaxed. And welcome back. So that's a short, simple hypnosis track that you can either listen to. I have a version of that available in my shop, or you can record your own, or you can just imagine that happening. Or there are lots of other relaxation tracks out there as well. So you can either do that yourself or follow the suggestions of something that's on a recording. And you can take yourself in a relaxed state and then enjoy that comfort in your body. So I hope again you now feel your body feels more comfortable, relaxed, and just feels good. Now we can build on this self-hypnosis by adding something else that's very simple that can help to reduce your pain. And that's more saliva. Now, saliva actually contains a protein which it suppresses pain in a similar way to morphine. And so they've done studies on rats, which showed that when they injected it into the rat, it suppressed the pain. Now, you don't need to inject it, just having plenty of saliva in your mouth combined with hypnosis can help with pain suppression. I know, sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But there's a Spanish surgeon who's done hundreds of operations using the power of saliva and relaxation and positive statements as an alternative to anesthetic. So he's done operations where normally people would have been anaesthetized, and he has helped them to learn how to relax and have positive statements, make sure they get the saliva in their mouth. And you have saliva in your mouth when you are in a calm, relaxed state as well. It's something that you don't have saliva in your mouth when you're in a really anxious state. So it's a good sign as well. Now, if you're not squeamish, there are several videos of the surgeon, Dr. Escudero, operating on people who's fully awake and talking to the staff around him whilst they're having the operation. So if you're interested, then again, I've got links to that. But I'm going to take you through a variation of this technique that you can use yourself. And some people get really quick results from it, but in other cases, it can take a while to notice the difference. Dr. Escudero, when he was using this, he would give people a hypnosis track to listen to and get them to practice it and get them to practice their positive thinking and before he did the operation. So I'd like you to think of a statement that describes how you would like to feel. So what comfortable means to you. And just take a few moments to think about what your statement will be. So if you've got a piece of paper and you can write it down, or just make a quick mental note of it. With this, you might want to adjust it after we've done this, but let's find something that we can actually start off with. Now, when you're thinking about it, um, you can start off by thinking about how you would describe any discomfort that you feel right now. So if you had to describe, if you are in any discomfort or pain at the moment, how would you describe it right now? And then think about what the opposite of that would be. So it's not I don't have it, but would it be that you'd feel um, comfortable, or it would feel numb, or it would feel maybe your left leg would feel like your right leg. So also think about how you feel when you have any respite from pain. What does that feel like? And it's really important that you describe it in a positive way, because your mind needs to tell you, you need to tell your mind what to actually create. So if you say, I don't want to be in pain, you aren't actually explaining what you want to feel. You're just explaining what you don't want to feel. So you always need to explain what you would like to replace that feeling with. So it is something like, my muscles will feel relaxed and soothed, or I can move my arms easily and comfortably, or my body's a comfortable temperature. Like I said, the feeling in one arm feels different to the feeling in another arm. My stomach feels quiet and calm. I can feel comfortable. Or maybe a part of your body, maybe you want it just to feel numb, or as if it isn't there. So I hope you've got a phrase. If you're watching this on the playback, you might just want to stop the video here and just take a little bit of time to find a phrase that works for you. Really, it needs to be one that it really sings it out to you. You know, when you say it, you feel, yes, that's really true to me. So close your eyes again and go back to that door that takes you through to your special place. And as you go through the door, just let that peacefulness soak into you again. Remember those feelings of your body relaxing, of all those muscles unwinding, of that lovely calmness flowing through your body. And enjoy some more time here, relaxing, just comfortably enjoying that feeling. And listening to the sounds that make you smile, and feeling peaceful and relaxed. And looking around at the things that give you pleasure. And feel the comfort just soaking into you. Enjoy those feelings. Calm, comfortable, and relaxed. And I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And on the count of 1, again, you can open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Eyes open. So in a moment now, you're going to say your phrase out loud. But again, I'd like you to look up when you're saying it, because again, that helps you to feel more positive. It lets your mind be really more in tune with what you're saying as well. So get some saliva in your mouth. Remember, I was talking about the saliva earlier, about the pain relieving properties it has, and also the fact that when the saliva is in your mouth, then your body is actually relaxed as well. And then say your phrase out loud. And then take a comfortable breath. And now do that again. Get some saliva in your mouth. Say your phrase out loud while you look up. And then take a comfortable breath. And a third time. Saliva. Say your phrase. And breath. and that's it. So for the best results, I suggest that you do that 3 times a day. That you do it first thing in the morning when you wake up, before you even get out of bed, in the afternoon, maybe lunchtime, and also in the evening as well, either maybe sort of early in the evening or maybe as you're going to sleep as well. So saliva in your mouth, say the phrase, and take a breath. And it only takes a few minutes. Now, initially, you might want to use some relaxation before you do it, um, just to get yourself into that relaxed state and then say the phrase. But as you get used to doing it, as it becomes more familiar to you, you can just purely use the phrase. And that will just keep repeating because your mind just has that habit of it recognizes that that phrase goes with the relaxed feeling. Now, just think about how you feel now as well. Don't go looking for trouble. Just think, how does my body feel now after having used that phrase? And I hope that maybe for some of you, there is a difference. If not, then keep using it and see how it works for you over a longer period of time. If you have already noticed a difference, then brilliant, keep using it because that's obviously working for you. And now the final technique I'm going to cover is called emotrance. Now can take a little bit of discipline because you do need to stick with it. But if it works for you, the results can just be really worthwhile. Um, so again, I'd like you to think of any discomfort that you have right now. Um, sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? But it's almost like I feel that I need to say, hopefully there's still some discomfort, which just sounds really horrible. But if there is any discomfort that you've still got right now, then you can focus on that. If there's any unwanted emotion that you've got, then you can also use this on that as well. So just like with the EFT that we used at the beginning, then um, you also can use this with physical or emotional things as well. So when you think about that physical or emotional discomfort, where do you feel it in your body? Just locate it. If you're not entirely sure, obviously if it's a physical thing, you're going to be able to know where it is. If it's an emotion and you're not quite sure where you feel it, then just imagine where it would be if you did have to locate it. And then imagine what it would be like if you had to give it a shape and a colour, if you had to make it into an object. What would that feeling look like? Would it be hard? Would it be soft? Would it be spongy, spiky? What sort of material would it be made out of? What colour would it be? How big would it be? And then close your eyes and focus on that object. And imagine the shape just softening and flowing away. Just imagine it gradually becoming smaller, shrinking. Maybe it melts. Maybe it sort of dissipates like mist or fog just being blown away. Maybe little bits get shaved off the edges. Maybe the colour just fades out of it or it changes into a different colour. Just let that shape soften and dissolve and melt and flow away in whatever way works for you. Don't try and push it, don't try and force it, don't try and make it go. Just allow it to go. And just focus on it. It gradually changes and disappears. Now, if you're doing this on your own, you would stay with that until you feel a shift. But obviously, I don't know where you are in the process. So I'd like you just to open your eyes again. Just look up and think, where is that sensation now? Where's the discomfort that I had earlier? Is it still there? Has it shifted? Has it moved? So if this has worked really well for you, then it might have completely disappeared. Brilliant. Don't question it. Just enjoy it. Um, Sometimes if there's a feeling still there, has it changed in some way? Has it shifted? Has it moved? Has it maybe shrunk? It might have got bigger sometimes. So a bit like with the EFT at the beginning, sometimes the feelings can actually change in the way that you don't want it to. And that can be quite upsetting and frustrating, really. But like I said, it does require a little bit of discipline. So if that happens, stay with it. It will shrink down again. Um, so that's why I said it does require some discipline just to stay with it. Don't expect it necessarily to just happen in like 5 seconds and that's it. Be prepared to invest a little bit of time into this. So close your eyes again then and just do the same again. Focus on the sensation of where it is right now. And again, just focus on it and give it a colour, give it a shape, make it into something. It might be similar to how it was before, or it might have changed. It might be in a different location in your body. It might look different, or it might just be a smaller version, or possibly a bigger version of what you started off with. And then again, just let it soften and flow, dissolve and melt. Little bits fall off it. Just let the colour come out of it. And just let it gradually flow away from you. Just let it go, because you don't want it and you don't need it to be there. So it's okay to let it go. And again, open your eyes. Again, I hope with that you've actually noticed some difference. With all of these techniques, please do contact me if you have any questions whatsoever. So we've come to the end, like I said, a real whistle-stop tour. If I'm working with somebody individually, I wouldn't normally go through all this quite so quickly because obviously I'd be working with them at the speed that things are changing for them. But I wanted to give you a variety of things that you can go away and use yourself and practice and find out what works best for you. So I've covered 4 techniques there. I've covered the EFT with the acupressure, rubbing on the points, simple relaxation, the positive self-hypnosis with the saliva, and also emotrance. So if you found one of those more powerful for you than the others, then you might just want to stick to that initially. If you haven't noticed any change at all, then just keep using them all regularly for a couple of weeks, either individually or together, and see what happens for you. And so as we come to the end, I have got, I'm going to just put up some text here. So on that page there, that has the reference sheet with the techniques on there. It also has details of some pain reduction audio downloads. So I have a hypnosis track for pain reduction, which has 3 tracks on it. So one is a guided version of the emotrance, one's relaxation based, and the other uses a control dial, which is something that we haven't used in this webinar. So all of those, again, try out those and see which ones work for you, and you can follow the link and go to my webpage to access those. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick tour around. I hope you've also got some benefit from it as well. I'd love to hear how you get on, because with this it's a little bit impersonal. You know, I'm giving all of this out there, and I'm hoping that somebody there the other end just listening to me and getting some benefit from it. So I'd love to know how you get on, and also if you have any questions. Like I said, there may be some things that I've missed that you're there thinking, oh, but what about that? So please do let me know. I'm always more than happy to answer any questions that you've got. If you think that you could benefit from a personal session with me, then I do those in my office in central Bristol. But I can also do them through webcam as well. So if that's easier for you, I can do them anywhere in the world. So thank you for joining me. Like I said, I hope you have found this helpful, and I hope it really does make a difference in you managing your pain.